This is going to be your weekly tarot and oracle forecast. If it's meant for you, it's meant for you. We're going to take a look at the energies for the upcoming week, break it down day by day, and let you know how to navigate. As I'm sitting here this Sunday morning, the sun is shining, there's a breeze in the trees, it's Labor Day weekend, and here in Canada, it's basically the signal for back to school. Now, I know other regions go back to school a little bit earlier in the United States, but here in Canada, it's always after the Labor Day weekend. So it's a little bit symbolic in my mind because it does feel like we're going back to school. And we have things to address, lessons to learn. I'm really feeling a very strong vibe that September is going to be this month of learning, putting things together, analyzing, finding out the information, and then Libra season is going to be major. I can't explain why. The cards that I've been pulling in my sessions and even for my shorts, reels, TikToks, whatever you want to call them, I keep seeing Libra energy, Libra season. Now, we are going to be having a solar eclipse on October 2nd, and I have a feeling that this is going to be something monumental. I will do some more meditating on it. I will let you know more when I've processed, but I don't know if you can feel it, but there's definitely something in the air right now that says, okay, we got to get serious. Now, tomorrow, Monday, September 2nd, we do have a new moon in Virgo, and it does fit the vibe of what I was saying about September. You know, Virgo energy is about responsibility. It's about analysis, you know, learning, wanting to know things. I guess the best advice I could give you is, yes, it's good to know, but you don't have to know everything. You know, I think we're always in this rush to know the who, what, when, where, why, and how. I mean, I'm a Virgo myself. You know, my fellow Virgos in the comments, please let me know if this is accurate to you too. Virgo placements also, you know, we like to know the details, you know, and we don't always have to be all-knowing. Let things unfold naturally. That's why I've learned trust the process is super, super important. Let's take some overall themes and messages for this week. And we have here the sun. Purpose, vision, self-mastery. You know, the sun is identity, right? In so many ways, it's who you are. It's the I am in astrology. This is also a yes card. This is forward motion. Love that energy to start with. Okay, let's see what else we need to know. Release. May you lay down your burdens. You know, essentially, when I see these two cards together, it's saying move on from your burdens. Let them go. Let them go. You know, someone said to me recently, opt out, and that has really stuck with me in the last day or so. It's, you can opt out of carrying those burdens and engaging in situations that are not good for you. So let's see what else do we need to know? The gateway, open doors, opportunities, and right timing. Interesting. It's time to open doors. You know, forward motion, the sun card, going towards the sun. You have opportunities, but those opportunities can't come your way if you're still attached to other things. You know, this is a conversation I have with people daily, actually. It's about the fact that when we have these burdens or when we have, you know, obligations that we're struggling with, you know, for example, when our finances are tied up with our family, or we're going through a separation or divorce and living with our partner, or maybe, you know, we just decide that, you know, we're gonna just sort of separate and not worry about a piece of paper to say we're divorced, etc. Whatever the situation, my viewpoint is that energetically, when you are bonded to someone and haven't sort of cut that bond or cut that energetic connection, it's really hard to bring new energies in. And I understand the reasons why people are in those situations, meaning sometimes for financial reasons, you must live with somebody that you maybe don't want to. But there's this need to strive to make that cut happen. Now, I'm not talking about cord cutting rituals here. What I'm saying is that we have to do our very best to make those boundaries or to cut that energy source, because it's very hard to bring new things in when we're still engaged in the old stuff. If we want new love, we have to release the old love. We want new relationships, we have to release the old relationships. Sometimes it's hard to bring in new opportunities. Let me give you a very basic analogy about this. It's like phone storage. How can you bring in new memories and experiences if your photos from the past are taking up all the space? If you've got old conversations of somebody that you were dating or in love with, whatever the scenario, how are you going to bring new stuff in? Energetically, it sends a message when we are in the old stories, right? It kind of says, no, don't come my way. It's almost like pushing away new opportunities. It shuts the door versus opening the door. And we don't realize that. I think we just think, oh, no big deal. And I completely understand because I've been there myself. But I'm always a believer that we have to be open to new things. And that sometimes means letting go of the old, surrendering the old, letting things unfold naturally. It doesn't do us any good to hold on to old conversations from somebody from 5 years ago. It just doesn't serve. So side note, I digress. Let's get into the days of the week and see what we can anticipate. I'll put these cards off to the side, and if we need them again later, we shall discuss. So that being said, let me grab, where's the deck that I wanted to use? Oh my goodness. Okay, I found it. I got all caught up in my talk here. Okay. And I got a kitty cat that wants love and is knocking the table with her cute little face. So if you see any table shakes, that is Pandy. Okay, so let's take a look at what we can anticipate throughout the week. Now, Monday is the new moon. And we have here, see, open your heart to love. There's the door, the gateway, vulnerability, forgiveness, allowing, and community. Look at the key. You have the key right there dangling on the door handle. Number 4 means you're divinely guided. It's a number 27 card. 2 plus 7 is a 9. 9 is a number of solitude. It's a number maybe of being single. And this is encouraging you to go beyond that, right? Because once you get to a 10, 1 plus 0 is a 1, and it's a brand new beginning. Here's the thing about love, or opening your heart to love. You have to be willing to weather the storm, the ups and downs. I think a lot of the times we think that things are going to happen instantly or within a few weeks or even a few months. And, I heard someone say recently in a video online about how you almost have to treat your love life like, a resume or a job application, putting yourself out there over and over and over again. That's been what's successful for me. I had to keep putting myself out there and gaining a thicker skin and understanding why people do what they do, even if I don't agree with it. For example, ghosting. I posted a video about ghosting today, actually, this morning. And I wish people would understand that ghosting is not personal, especially in this scenario. Like, obviously, there are facets to the topic of ghosting, which I can cover in other videos if you'd like me to. But the thing is this, if you're in a deep soul connection with someone, or you really like each other, love each other, you've gone back and forth, or there's something there that just seems to really click, understand that a lot of the times the ghosting has nothing to do with you. It has to do with the fact that someone doesn't have the capacity. I get a lot of people who ask me, did they even care about me? Did they even love me? Do they love me? And that's because we have a desire to connect and to be loved and to be chosen. And we take it so personally. And these things are linked to our childhood wounds, our previous relationships, and they trigger us. And then they make us go, no, I'm going to shut that door and I don't want to do this. It's not meant for me. I can't have this. And that's not true. It's not true at all. There's going to be ups and downs with anything in life, but we have to continue to open our hearts, because the more we close them, the more we stay stuck. And we have one life to live. So I've had a lot of people reach out to me about this topic lately, about the ups and downs and the fear that is associated with putting ourselves out there. And vulnerability, I completely understand. It's very tough. I used to always think that I was so open, but, there were times that I really wasn't, and I had to learn to push through that. So yeah, look at this beautiful door here, this gorgeous red heart that says, open your heart to love. And that's kind of tied back to the new moon in Virgo. Not that this new moon in Virgo is so great, by the way. It's not easy. I've seen a lot of people say that they don't even recommend manifesting on this new moon because it is tricky. But I will say this, the analysis of Virgo season, again, having to know the who, what, where, when, why, and how, it's not necessary. You don't have to know everything. And I think we want these instant answers, instant gratification, and it just doesn't work like that. Things take time. That's why I always say trust the process. I've had to learn that the hard way myself, and I can help you with that too. But again, it takes consistency and time and effort and the desire. Let's take a look at Tuesday. There's the green energy of Raphael. Love, travel, humor, vitality. Let me just make a point about something, not to go backwards here. On these cards, it gives you like an upright and, an upside down kind of energy, where like, I'm not one to read reversals in tarot anyways. I don't believe that tarot was meant to be read in reversals, because the cards themselves generally have positive and negative, attributes to each of them. But going back to this open your heart, okay? Sometimes we're way too independent, where we don't let other people in or let people help us. Sometimes we're stubborn. We want things the way we want it, and that's why we get resistance. There's resentment. Well, the resentment comes from old situations, maybe feeling abandoned or hurt from our traumas, triggers, and hurts. Absent energy, meaning, again, that kind of ghosting energy. We've been ghosted before. We've been hurt before, The same thing here with Tuesday. We can have love, travel, humor, and vitality. At the same time, you can feel emptiness, hibernation, sarcasm, lethargy. The Virgo season is about being a hermit, right? As in searching your soul. And that's why you might find that this Virgo season, you're trying to overanalyze, you're trying to search your soul. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to search your soul and find answers. But again, there's a way to go about it. You can't stay in hibernation forever. And the green energy here is the heart chakra. So this is definitely a week for matters of the heart, And on Wednesday, we have here gold energy, Uriel. Funny, I said number 10, right? 9, 2 plus 7 is a 9. Now we have 1 plus 0 is a 1. Passion, epiphany, entrepreneur, and driven. See, I want you to be in an energy that says, I'm willing to put myself out there. That's that sun energy that we had at the very beginning. Remember, we had this beautiful yellow card here. I mean, look, you can't make this up, right? Already a couple of these cards have said, put down the burdens, open the door, right? Here's the gateway right there. So just as a reminder, we're really in line with those current energies. What are you passionate about? What do you love to do? What's the epiphany right now? You'll find it. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but that epiphany will come to you. So let's see what else you need to know. Okay, the purple energy here, Zadkiel. Destiny, pride, conscious forgiveness. That purple energy is the third eye. It's intuition. Look, everything's going to work out the way it's supposed to. That destiny, consciousness, forgiveness of the past, right? Okay, let's take a look at Friday. What do we need to know about Friday? We have here evolution, empowerment, transformation, protected, preparedness. But again, on the opposite side of the coin, anxiety, unexpected, distracted, resistant. If you're fighting the shift, like if you're doing everything to avoid change, you're going to feel it even harder. Like that eclipse energy that we're going to get, you know, September 17th, 18th, depending on where you're in the world, or October 2nd, it's gonna come on in, you know, and I don't want to say it's going to lay the smack down, but it's certainly going to be an energy that's not easy. Okay. So I invite you to think about, what are you resisting? What are you holding yourself back from? And that's something last week I spoke about in my live session on TikTok and Instagram. You know, what are you holding back? What are you afraid of right now? What do you need to do that you're avoiding? So we want evolution. We want change. 2 + 3 is 5, right? Okay, let's take a look at Saturday. And we have here point of view. There you go. I've been talking about this, and very rarely would I ever read, you know, both sides to you, because again, I don't believe in reversals. But in this particular deck, I'm drawn to this today. You know, point of view is all about perspective. What is your perspective? Because that's everything. If your perspective is that everything is going wrong, things never work out for you, well, you're going to manifest that, you know? This is about gratitude, assistance, guidance, and understanding. This is my point earlier. I know that it's a lot of effort and work to understand why people do what they do. Like I always say, you don't have to agree with it, but you can understand it, right? It's about, you know, empathy. It's about understanding someone else's point of view. You know, everybody thinks that their point of view is correct, right? And so it's all about subjective truth, your truth, their truth, but there's always something in the middle, right? Something that we can always learn from other people or take from other people, understand where they're coming from. So the opposite side of this is oblivious, separate, dispassionate, ignorance. So what's your perspective? What's your point of view? Let's take a look at Sunday. Abundance, faith, optimism, excitement, and breakthrough. Do you believe that anything is possible, or are you in doubt? Are you being a pessimist? Are you in the mundane? Do you feel like you're misfortunate? You know, it all depends. Again, it all depends on your point of view. And let's take a sneak peek at the following week. Rainbow, healing, enlightened, adaptable, soulful, connected. And there you go. There's the opposite. Skeptical, rigid, materialistic, detached. Now let me give you a thought on detachment for a moment, but in a positive way. Something that I've been recommending all week is that you take the emotion out of it right now. Now, let me give you a reason why. Virgo energy is very kind, very generous, but Virgos are not the most expressive people, okay? They kind of put the emotions to the side. They may feel it inside, but they kind of put it away a little bit because they look at the logic, right? I think right now you have to be very mindful of your emotions getting the best of you. Because again, that's the whole taking it personal thing. That's the panic. That's the emotional pain body kicking in. You have to recognize that, you know, your body lies to you. You know, your head lies to you at times. And I mean that in the sense of the trauma, you know, the old stories that you're being told. You know, your body responds with the trauma that it's experienced in the past. You know, you may know full well that you're telling yourself a story that isn't true, but it's a response. It's a trauma response. And it takes a lot of effort and time to work through that, you know, but it is possible. It just takes time. Let's take a look at the tarot here. One of my favorite decks, Tarot de la Nuit. I picked a little bit of a darker deck for some reason today. I always get Scorpio vibes off this deck, but let's see. Monday, the Star, healing. Open your heart to love and healing. Love it. Okay. Tuesday, The Knight of Swords. I always think of Jon Snow when I see this card, Game of Thrones. The Knight of Swords means you're going to make a decision. You're going to make a decision. You don't have to overanalyze it. Just make a decision and see where it takes you. It's a very swift moving energy. Let's see this gold energy here, this passion, this epiphany. Opening your heart to love. Radiating love out in the world. Putting love out in the world brings you love. Showing love to yourself brings you love. Giving yourself some compassion, some grace will invite others to do the same. And the Five of Cups here on Thursday, you know, here's the thing. Five of Cups is about grief, sadness, and disappointment. There may be something on Thursday that you really need to forgive. And it may not even be in other people. It could very well just be something you need to forgive within yourself. What's something you've been very hard on yourself for? Now, let's take a look at Friday, this evolution. And by the way, more green energy, evolution of the heart. The world, completion of a cycle. Going to the next level, being ready to evolve into something new and better. And you won't know what that is until you cross that bridge, by the way. You can guess, you can anticipate, you can have a hypothesis, but you won't know until you get there. It all depends on your point of view, right? And there's the Temperance card. Patience, forgiveness. Something's brewing. Alchemy, turning something into something else. And that abundance on Sunday, 9 of Cups, ask and you shall receive. How badly do you want it? Like really, how badly do you want it? You don't have to force it, but you've got to take the methodical steps to get there. You got to weather that storm. And there's the 7 of Pentacles. Look at that scratching. Maybe somebody watching this right now is feeling itchy and scratchy and anxious and I don't know. I can't even think of another word other than that sound. But, you know, look, there's healing here from these things that have hurt you. Okay? You have to adapt. You've got to trust the process. The 7 of Pentacles means there's anxiety and worry. Remember, you're not going to harvest overnight. It just doesn't happen that way. It takes time. We have to get out of this instant gratification because it sets us up with expectations that are unrealistic, and then we're mad, you know, and then we're hurt. And we want to rush into all these things thinking we're finally going to get our due. And things happen in due time. Due time. There's a reason why it says due time. Right? Okay, let's go back to Monday again here for some last oracle messages. The Sun, again. Again. Yes. Beautiful. The Knight of Swords, swift movement. Communication. Connecting. Heart. Overcoming barriers. Okay, the Knight of Cups here. So you've got to let go of any interference in your life. Very important. Don't let other people dictate what you do. Your mind, your body, your soul. It's up to you. Now this grief, this sadness, yeah, be careful with any spying or observing on social media pulling you backwards. Please, again, looking at old photos, reading old conversations, it's not going to help you move forward. That's why social media sometimes is a bit of a beast, because it can make memories pop up. You know, it can kind of invite you to spy and look when you know you really shouldn't. That was actually one of the biggest blessings I had in my situation that sparked me back in 2017, is that eventually, by the time 2020 came around and I finally was ready to let go, the biggest blessing I had was that we didn't have social media with each other. There was no way to even look. You know, this person didn't have any social media. Fantastic for me, because it didn't tempt me. It actually helped me heal. There's the clock. What did I say? Timing. It's time. It's time to go to the next level. Incremental. taking the steps, due time, right? Okay, this Temperance, this forgiveness again, double message. The Hierophant, taking the methodical steps to heal, learning from past experiences. Even though it's slow energy. Nine of Cups, are you ready to receive? Feminine energy, ask and you shall receive. And there's the Moon. You know, it's interesting. The new moon is here, right, on Monday. 2 weeks from that approximately will be the next full moon. And that will be that full moon in Pisces, which is a partial lunar eclipse. That's on the 17th or 18th. Now, obviously, this sneak peek here is not yet, but it's going to be the week leading up to the full moon. And what's going to happen there is you're going to be feeling those eclipse vibes. And yeah, things are going to get shaken up a little bit, but that's okay, right? That's exactly what we need. So let me just take a last little bit of guidance here. Let's take a power of surrender. What do we need to surrender or surrender to right now? Surrender your fear of change, exactly what I just said. The universe is reminding you that you are cared for always, whether you're afraid of a change in your job, your health, or a relationship, or if you fear aging or death, repeat the affirmation, I have faith that all is well. Absolutely. Okay, what else? Surrender to success. You are ready to experience abundance. Don't look back at previous roadblocks or difficulties. Leap into an exciting new world of possibilities. Look, there's the gate. There it is. There's the altar. Walk through, right? Weather the storm. Get through the tough times so that you can have the good ones. Surrender to your soul's path. Your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson and every... Exactly my point. I send you so much love. Thank you so much for watching. I would really appreciate a like, a comment, a subscribe. It really helps the algorithm, puts my videos on the home page. Thank you so much, and I wish you an amazing week.